If we want to stop our kids from using, we have to understand that drugs are a symptom, not the cause. Effective prevention necessitates a full-court press that focuses on building strong individuals and families. It requires the participation of parents, teachers, schools, communities. One way we can prevent our kids from using is to understand that kids are more likely to use. Some kids are more likely to use, and some kids are more likely to become addicted. Every child can become addicted. No one is immune, but some are more likely to. Risk factors for drug problems include genetics, if there's addiction, alcoholism in your family. Another risk factor is the age of first use. The younger kids that try a drug, the more likely they are to become addicted. Other risk factors include children with learning disabilities are more likely to have drug problems. Those with behavioral problems and psychological disorders, depression, anxiety, other mental health issues. Trauma is a significant risk factor. Trauma that comes from physical abuse, sexual abuse, even from stress in the family, even from a contentious divorce on parents. For many kids, their parents' homes explode and they don't know where they fit in. We know about the risk factors, though, and the good news about that is that when we know about them, we can pay attention to them and we can work to help our children grow up healthily and safely. We get help for them when the first time there's a problem. How do we know if our child is in trouble? How do we know if something we see is normal sadness, normal worry or moodiness, or if there's a problem that needs to be dealt with? Another doctor, another pediatrician said to me, if you think there's a problem, there's a problem. At least you want to find out.
For me, once I got to that treatment center in New Mexico, that was really when things shifted for me. It was the first time, like I said, that I got to a treatment center where the people really started to talk to me about what it was in me that I hated so much, that I was having to use all these drugs and alcohol and women and everything else to kind of numb out that pain in me. And they started to try to, it made me feel like I wanted to kill them, but they were like, you really have to learn how to love yourself and how to take care of yourself if you're ever going to have any kind of a life. And I was like, I'm never going to be able to do that. I hate myself. There's no way I can do that. But very, very slowly, they started to help me kind of on this long journey to learn how to start to value myself and love myself. And they helped me kind of understand that some of the pain and the depression that I'd been going through probably did have somewhat of a chemical component to it. So, they told me for the first time that they thought that I had bipolar disorder, which, obviously not every addict does have bipolar disorder. And I think, we as a culture are maybe overly medicated, to a lot of a degree. But for me, that diagnosis, bipolar disorder, I really took it in and I was like, okay, do I have this thing? And I, started to try to, maybe I don't need the medication, and I tried not taking the medication, and I kept having these manic episodes and then these really horrible depressive episodes. And so I was like, okay, I think this fits. I think I have bipolar disorder. So I started taking the medication, which was really hard for me. And it's really weird, addicts, that we take so many drugs and then we get sober and we don't want to be on antidepressants or bipolar medication. It doesn't make any sense, but I fought it. But I finally stopped fighting it. And, I feel like for me, addiction really is like a puzzle, of what makes someone an addict. It's like a perfect storm of genetics and, environmental stuff and what happened when you were a kid and when you started using, and all these different things come together to make this perfect storm of someone being an addict. And I think recovery for me is kind of the same thing. It's like a puzzle piece, or it's like a puzzle, and each piece of the puzzle is the little things that I've found in my life that help me stay sober and learn how to love myself and learn how to be content, just in life every day.